There are many types of intelligence. The best known of all, the IQ, is mainly associated with our ability in logical reasoning and our ability to memorize. Another recently introduced type of intelligence is QC, curiosity quotient. People with a high curiosity quotient are generally more intelligent. This obviously has nothing to do with your curious neighbor, who knows the life, death and miracles of all the condominiums and all the people. The curiosity quotient focuses on a person's ability to study and learn new topics, such as you can do in this channel. Most important of all, however, is perhaps the emotional intelligence quotient, EQ, which is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our own emotions, and to recognize and understand that we influence other people's emotions. It is of the utmost importance to understand how we can best manage our emotions and those of others, especially in difficult and high-pressure situations where we often end up making decisions or doing things that we normally would not do. The constant growth of our emotional intelligence will impact all our relationships with other people. Not only that, your career path to success will also benefit. In this video, we will analyze 9 qualities that distinguish a person with high emotional intelligence. Before starting, I remind you that the Entrepreneur's Wealth channel is the information channel dedicated to entrepreneurs, successful and aspiring people. Immersing yourself in the right training and practicing the right action is the key to your success. So, let's get started. 1. Empathy. Empathy is the ability to immediately place oneself in another person's mood and situation, thus perceiving emotions and thoughts. There are 3 important types of empathy. Cognitive empathy is that type of empathy that allows you to clearly intuit what the other person thinks to fully understand his point of view. The typical empathy used by great speakers, salesmen and negotiators, substantially among all forms of empathy, is the least deep and developed. Because while there is an understanding of other people's emotions, there is often a lack of compassion and the desire to actually care about what other people are feeling and therefore want to do something to help them. Emotional empathy, the second type of empathy, the deepest relationship that is created and one is able not only to understand, but also to really experience the sensations of other people within oneself. This type of empathy is therefore a step higher than the cognitive one, as it allows us to understand and even feel the moods of others on our skin, but not necessarily to feel compassion for them. Finally, compassionate empathy. This last type of empathetic sensitivity implies what is defined as empathic concern, i.e. in compassionate empathy all the qualities of the other types of empathy are fused together and we are therefore able to understand the emotions of the other and feel them within ourselves, and the more we succeed also to understand how to help the people in front of us. This is therefore the truest and most authentic form of empathy, that of those who make altruism and the well-being of the community their banner for their life mission. People with high emotional intelligence generally have a high level of empathy, and before drawing conclusions or hasty judgments, they are able to put themselves in the other person's shoes and try to understand a certain situation from the other person's point of view. 2. Self-awareness. Self-awareness is the art of knowing yourself in order to then be able to better manage your life, aware of your strengths and weaknesses. Not understanding one's limits, not knowing one's shortcomings and looking for scapegoats to justify one's defeats are unfortunately very common things. In the majority of the population it is often very difficult to mea culpa, to accept criticism and to admit that they have caused their own harm. This does not mean that we have to agree with every criticism we receive, especially if this comes from people who open their mouths just to say something, but when we receive criticism from people we respect, who we believe are knowledgeable in a specific topic and who genuinely want the best for us, then perhaps the time has come to stop and reflect for a moment, to ask ourselves a couple of questions to understand what we are doing wrong. 3. Think positive. Emotionally intelligent people have self-confidence. They understand well that they are the master of their destiny and their life. They know that with perseverance, hard work and a positive attitude they can achieve great things. As seen in the previous point, they are self-aware people who know exactly who they are today and what they want to achieve tomorrow. They know that spending time complaining and feeling sorry for themselves will not bring them any results. In addition to being a waste of time, complaining will also drain emotional energies that could be better used elsewhere. The attitude we have towards life is the thing that is always in our control. We can choose whether to look at the world positively or negatively. But let us remember that when we are happy, when we are optimistic, we will also be more motivated to succeed, helping us towards our goals, whatever they may be. From small everyday things to big victories. 4 curiosities. Albert Einstein quote, "I have no particular talents, I am only passionately curious." The reality is that when you are curious, if even passionate, and when you are passionate, you are motivated to have the best for yourself. You want to learn and know more. This growth mindset will bring positivity into your life and will also help you in your relationships with others, in business and in business. People with a high curiosity quotient are generally more tolerant of others and are more motivated to invest time in themselves to always acquire new knowledge. Be curious, don't be afraid of what is different, and always try to learn new things and have new experiences. 5. Analytical mindset. People with high emotional intelligence quotient like to analytically process the information available to them. They continue to analyze past information and habits to understand how these can be improved in the future. Solving problems is a challenge for them, and they like to wonder why certain things happen. Having an analytical mind means having a healthy appetite to continuously improve yourself, always remaining open to new ideas. 6. Needs and wants. There is a big difference between what we want and what we really need. In 1954, the psychologist Abraham Maslow proposed a motivational model of human development, based on a hierarchy of needs arranged in a pyramid, according to which the satisfaction of the most basic needs is a necessary condition for those of a higher order to emerge. Basic needs, once satisfied, tend not to recur, while social and relational needs are reborn with new and more ambitious goals to achieve. It follows that dissatisfaction both at work and in public and private life is a very widespread phenomenon which can find its cause in the failure to realize one's potential. For Maslow, in fact, self-realization requires a series of personality characteristics, social skills and technical skills. At the base of the pyramid there are needs essential for survival, while going up to the top one encounters the more immaterial needs. We have to understand exactly what we really need in our lives and what we want instead, but we could also live without. Emotionally intelligent people know exactly how to distinguish these two categories and always make sure that basic needs are met before moving on to the next floors of the pyramid. 7. Passion. Quote, "Choose a job you love and you will never work a day in your life." Confucius. People with high A are passionate about what they do, and their passion is contagious. He had a true passion for something. He will lead us to do it naturally, with great motivation, thanks to the love devoted to it. When we hear someone passionately speaking about something, it gives us positivity and often motivates us to follow in their footsteps, like successful leaders. Let's look, for example, at famous athletes who have made speeches that have become epic in their lives. How do you feel after hearing their words? Knowing how to transmit this energy is a virtue of emotionally intelligent and successful people. 8. Adaptability. Emotionally intelligent people know when to go their own way and when it's time for a change. Having the ability to make decisions and openly face changes instead of complaining, especially in today's ever-changing world, is one of the most important skills a person can have, and is a significant trait of people with high emotional intelligence. Remember that if you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting what you've always gotten. To give you an example, how can you think of earning more if you keep doing a job that isn't satisfying you financially? Change the job or change the way you do it and your results are sure to change. It is therefore important to determine when it is time for changes and what these changes should be. The changes we find ourselves making will not always be positive. Sometimes we will make mistakes and pay the consequences. But the fundamental thing is to evaluate each situation rationally and not be afraid to risk making wrong choices if we think at the time of the decision that these choices will bring about an improvement in our lives. 9. Desire to see others succeed. People with a high degree of emotional intelligence enjoy not only being successful for themselves, but also inspiring others to be equally successful. In short, they are true leaders. They know that the success of their friends or acquaintances will help them grow, being able to compare themselves with successful people with whom they can help each other achieve their dreams. This doesn't mean not thinking about yourself. Sometimes a little selfishness is needed, but at the same time keep a spirit where you want to see the people around you succeed as well. Not only will this be great medicine against envy, but it will help revitalize our passion and propel us towards our next goal. It will help us make new allies and create new relationships that will benefit each other. If you think about it, a serious business owes its greatest success precisely to the fact that it wants to help others and the well-being they derive from its product and service. If you like the video, share it with your friends who are struggling to achieve success. Thanks for watching.